Toxicity tier list part 2. I had to do this because I have a new S tier, Gamergate. Someone said that in the comments on one of my videos. Yeah, they were a harassment machine. They doxed me twice. S tier is going to be reserved for things that, like, have a heavy impact on my real fucking life. Gamergate had a real impact on my real fucking life. And they were basically the blueprint for the modern day alt-right. I was never a part of Gamergate, but I was a games journalist in the time of Gamergate, so that's why I could say I could put this here from the inside. Honestly, fuck these guys. Also, I'm breaking my own rules, but I don't care. Elon Musk fanboys. Way back when, they mass reported me because I said Elon Musk was okay. That was before I knew a whole lot about him in the early 2020s. Now I'm comfortable saying dude's a white supremacist. Fuck Elon fanboys. I think S tier might break the rules a bit and include some of the groups that I've never been a part of. Tumblr in general, I'm putting at the bottom of C tier. It really is kind of just the midway point for how toxic things can get. It's been very welcoming sometimes, and it's been very toxic other times. But specific Tumblr communities will be rated higher or lower as we get to them. Lord of the Rings fans? Not too toxic. E tier. Lord of the Rings fans who have read the Silmarillion? B tier. I include myself in this. Of course I had to rate the Doctor Doom fandom, right? And those guys are surprisingly nice. There are a couple weird puritanical people who are like, oh, if you say Doom is good, then, you know, you're advocating for, like, tyranny or some shit like that. But outside of that, people are pretty nice. It's about the same as Italian cooking in the FGC. Again, remember, this is a tier list of my personal experiences, but people asked me to put DC and Marvel on the tier list. They are about the same. That just comics are generally chill, but have some really bad people in them, so D tier. Remember, this tier goes all the way down to F, though. The MCU, though? I've gotten slurs and death threats from arguments about the MCU. They get in B tier. Team Fortress 2. You know, I played a lot of Team Fortress 2 back in the day, and I was not a very good person back in the day. Like I said, this is the cutoff for slurs and death threats. Nowadays, Team Fortress 2 isn't so bad, but nowadays, people who play Team Fortress 2 are old. In fact, I'm going to put old people who play Team Fortress 2 over here in D tier. Steven Universe. Now look, I personally love Steven Universe. Source material, great. The fandom, well, I've gotten the slurs and death threats, and also ableist insults. There are a really weird amount of people who like to whitewash characters in that fandom. I don't like it. Show's great, though. Super Hulock is going to go right above Tumblr. It's kind of the mascot for Tumblr. There's some really neat fics in it, there's some really neat people in it, but any fanfiction fandom is going to get some really loud and annoying and, like, borderline problematic people. Just you wait until the Undertale/Deltarune fandom, Homestuck, and the Helliverse end up merging into the second coming of Super Hulock. Speaking of, I'm filling out the C tier now. People who started watching Dragon Ball at Dragon Ball Z are pretty annoying. They are the Goku Solos crowd. But people who started watching Dragon Ball with the original Dragon Ball, chill as fuck. Love those guys. Science people are cool in general, but marine biologists? Y'all are, like, perpetually high. If you could be non-toxic to, like, a problematic degree, it would be marine biologists. Look, I'm gonna drag myself here. Skullgirls is my favorite fighting game ever. But a couple years ago, when they removed the underage panty shots and Nazi imagery, there were way, way, way too many people who were upset about that. Not a good look. Not a good look. Look, I put Deltarune on here. I might as well put Undertale on here. My experiences with Undertale are slightly better than Deltarune, but only slightly. Undertale AUs, though, way worse. Even way worse than Undertale. I may have to drop Undertale just because of proximity. They haven't ruined my life, but they're bad. The God of War fandom? I have definitely gotten slurs and death threats from that fandom. B tier. The God of War fandom post-Dad of War, though, anyone who's lasted that long, pretty chill. E tier. I'm sensing a trend. The older you get, the more chill you get. Eventually, you just don't have the energy to call someone slurs online. You're gonna die soon. Now, someone asked me if we could move power scalers up to S tier because they got into a physical fight over power scaling. And again, this is a tier list of my experiences. So since I haven't gotten into a physical fight in power scaling, I can't do that. But for the hell of it, I think that warrants sliding it to the top of A tier. All right, I think that's the list for now. Let me know if you want a part 3.